Welcome back, everyone. I'm thrilled to see you here for our second training session. Today, we're going deeper, not just into the mechanics of rating, but into the heart of why we rate it all. We'll also run Corbo again to push toward cleaner execution and faster clears, and maybe get some practice on tunes we don't usually play. The goal, no more stopping to explain every single little detail, because most of you were here last time. Just go with the flow and let's build that muscle memory together and get some practice in. So, great raiders aren't just mechanically skilled, they're passionate. That passion drives them through every wipe, every setback, every boss, and all the drama. For rookies, the why might be different. Maybe you're chasing loot or just curious about all the hype is about. That's valid. But over time you'll find your deeper reason. For me, it's personal. After losing both my brother and father in 2017, I couldn't even log into LOTRO for a whole year. When I returned, raiding helped me process my grief. Remember my brother when we were playing LOTRO together and reconnect with people again. That's the kind of depth MMOs can have when you open yourself to it. The hardest part of starting isn't the boss, okay? It's the disconnect. Rookies don't know what they don't know. Meanwhile, seasoned raiders take that knowledge for granted. That's where these sessions come in to bridge that gap. When you understand both the language and the grind, you'll start to build credibility in the raiding community. Here's the reality: raiding is a commitment. If you want to be part of an experienced raid team or start your own prog team, you'll need to put in consistent effort, like showing up to these training sessions. Raiding takes time, patience, and repetitions to learn all the mechanics and your class's role within the raid team, which is often different than when you're just soloing. Veterans have been burned too many times, unfortunately. Someone joins very eager to start, shows up for 2 weeks, and then vanishes. So show them you're here to stay. Show up and even listen just in on Discord. Even if you're not in the raid, you'll be surprised at what you can learn. And your continued presence by showing up shows you're interested and willing to learn. The more you learn, the faster you earn their trust, and then the doors will really start to open up and give you more rating opportunities. Now, don't choose a class because your friend plays it. Choose one that fits your playstyle. If you don't know what playstyle you like, then try a couple out. These training sessions is the perfect time to dust off your cappy that you may not have played in 2 years to see if that's what you want to play in a raiding environment. For example, I cannot play Berg. I have a Berg. I know like 3 4 skills that I need to use, but I do not have the patience to play the Berg. Because I simply don't like debuffing. I like doing the damage or holding the aggro. So, however, that's why I do enjoy playing my tank and range DPS. Also note that free to play does not give you access to the latest raids. So unless you're playing on a legacy server where they are rolling content out from the beginning, there may not even be a raiding scene for the lower tier content that you're trying to do. So you'll need to make a financial investment to gain access to the latest raids or invest a substantial amount of time grinding LOTRO points. Every raid has its rhythm. Raids are more than just button mashing, they're a choreographed performance. Each fight has a rhythm, a sequence of mechanics, a set of expectations for positioning, timing, and execution. Just like learning a new dance, it'll feel awkward at first. You might trip over someone else's step, but with repetition, you start to flow. So let's break it down. What exactly are you watching for during a raid? Environmental mechanics are anything that shows up in the raid space itself. You might see puddles appear on the floor, don't stand in them. A ring of fire might surround the room, don't stand in it. There could be spinning blades, flame jets, spiders, traps, or collapsing terrain. This is where you will often hear me say, don't stand in stupid. Okay? That's what I mean. Stay out of the environmental obstacles. Stay out of stupid. Some encounters require you to click objects in a specific order, trigger puzzle mechanics, or move through obstacle courses while under pressure. The key here is situational awareness. Don't just watch your skill bar, look at what's happening around you. Train yourself to keep an eye on the boss and the battlefield. Now, boss mechanics are going to be the core of every raid encounter. These can include frontal cone attacks that you must avoid, debuffs that require cleansing or group management, reflect shields that punish DPS for attacking at the wrong time, summoned adds that need to be handled quickly. You could have a DPS race where the boss will kill everyone in a set time, or you could have a healing race like the new temple where you need to heal an NPC up to full health, or like in last season, you have to heal a teammate all the way to full health in order for a debuff to be removed. These mechanics aren't random. They will feel random at the beginning, but believe me, they're not. Every boss has a pattern. Learn to identify the tells. When the boss raises its hand, shifts stance, or shouts something unique, it's a signal. Learning the mechanics is just the start. The real mastery comes in executing them smoothly under pressure. In the heart of battle, it's tough to catch everything. That's why I always recommend recording your gameplay if you're able to, using free software like OBS. And if anybody needs help setting that up, I'm more than happy to help them. The benefit of that is that you can come back the next day and watch it while calmly, you can pause it, and you can take notes. The other great thing to use is tooltips. To use tooltips, you just hover over the icon and press H, and it'll bind the tooltip for you, and you can read it later or during the video recording. Now, the by hovering over the tooltips, it'll help you to understand what those status effects actually do to yourself or to the boss. And while you're doing this watch back, you gotta ask yourself, could that death have been avoided? Was that mechanic telegraphed? Was I in the right position? Was I on the right target? Um, and diagnose what you can do to improve. And don't just rely on your own footage. Read guides, watch walkthroughs. I've got several walkthroughs on Corbo on YouTube. A lot of experienced raiders have already broken down the fights and posted their strategies online, so you want to leverage that work. The goal is to shift from having to be in a reactive state the entire time to being in a state where you understand what's going to happen before it happens and you know already how you're going to respond. That's how you improve with intention and information. Roles and raids are specialized and often totally different from how you play solo. Tanks will manage aggro and survive brutal damage. Healers must balance healing tanks versus healing the rest of the raid versus remembering to heal themselves. I can't tell you how often I see healers go down because they forgot to heal themselves. DPS is not just numbers, it's timing, target priority, discipline, and understanding the mechanics to reduce your own damage so that the healers can focus more on the tanks. Support is the glue, the debuffing, the buffing, the locking down of threats and targets. So know your role and know what the team needs from you. Raiding is like joining a dance team. Just because you know how to do the move doesn't mean you know this choreography. And as you go out there into the raiding community, you will quickly learn that every raid group has their own unique style and way of doing things. So staying flexible and listening to the raid leader's instructions and following the raid leader's lead, you can learn a lot. Once you get it, you'll be able to jump into any rhythm with ease. If you're clicking every skill with your mouse, you will find that your reaction time will be slower than others. So learn your keybinds. Or if you're lazy like me, consider getting a gaming mouse. You may be slower initially while you're learning to use the keybinds or the gaming mouse, but I promise you, once you master it, it will make the game way more immersive because you'll be focusing less on looking at the skill bar and more attention will be placed on what's actually happening in the fight. So, know your class, understand your abilities. Can you identify what are your single target skills versus your AoE skills? Because sometimes we don't want you to do AoE because it's going to cause a lot of havoc. So, know the difference between those. Do you know what your bubbles are, what your interrupt is, what your self heals are and cleanses are, and what do they actually do? So don't just play hard, play smart. Study, practice, and get curious about your class and how it's played in a raid setting. Now, every team also develops its own language. Learn it, don't fake it. If you're unsure of a terminology that's being used, just ask. Trust is going to be earned over time, especially in high pressure fights. You want your tank to trust their healer. You want your DPS to go full out ham when OTs are thrown. That combination and communication is going to come with practice and when people believe you know your job in the team, and to show that you care enough to learn what your task is. Now, in communication, you may hear me say clear comms, taunt TA, um, what else? Terms, group up, spread out. So those are all terminologies that I'm hoping that you guys will learn through running these practice runs in Corbo, because the words might be slightly different from team to team, but you'll find the concept of what they want you to do is going to be very similar. So that's it for the slide presentation. You've got the knowledge. Now it's time to go apply it. Today's run, we're going to be going through Corbo. It's not going to be about just getting loot. It's about growing stronger as a team, focusing on the mechanics and keeping communication clear and crisp, and learning what to say and what not to say, and to stay adaptable and flexible. Every pull is a chance to get better, to learn, and to improve. Remember, the raid doesn't care if you're new, but your team does. We've got your back, so let's get in there and show Corbo what we're made of. And if you have any questions, now's a good time to ask. All right. Well, let me see. We've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. I am missing one. Let me just shoot off an message here. All right, I am on Maloa Cats. I'm going to type that in the tavern. Maloa Cats. You guys can start sending me towels, and I will start the invites. Tell. Yes. Pretty much, yes. For Corba, that's how it works. No, I think it just depends. Like the temple ones, I posted it somewhere. One second. The temple ones, if you go into world chat and you look under pinned, you'll see the temple image there with all the information, right? So you can run you can run tier 1 through 3 3 times a week, but only one a week will be favored, right? And by favored means I believe you're guaranteed a teal at least. Um no. 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 So that's typically why people don't run more than once a week on a character. That's another reason why people roll multiple characters, is so they can have multiple opportunities at the loot. Pretty much. All right. I think, am I missing a JT? All right. All right. You can yeah, you can send Maloa Cat to tell. Alright. Pop myself over there. Yeah, we don't really need a Berg and an LM for tier 1. It would be nice, but it's not really a mandatory. Alright, let me pug this last spot real quick. If we don't get anybody immediately, we're just gonna 11 man it. Uh, well, that does mean, Guardians, you guys know how to do your FMs, right? Okay, well, that's you're going to be practicing that then. Especially, yeah. So, I will put you in the DPS group once we get to the last fight, so that you can trip the FMs for us. All right, let's see. LFF Corbo T1. All right. That would be Winicia. This is. Well, this is tier 1. This is the training run, so this is the good time to practice. All right, we are a full house. I'm gonna start it up. Oh, hang on. Let me just message this person that joined us. Um, oh, and doot, doot. All right, looks like we're gearing up.
After the confrontation in the Citadel of Winds, the ship bearing Azagoth, Belandor, and Nakasi, Reaper of the Waves, sails northwest
I think that's
into the
Thando.
shadow cast by the Makta Corbo. Pursuing the trio, you enter the
Okay.
depths of a long-hidden cavern, leading through dank, twisting passages.
Thank you for the table. Everybody go ahead and eat up.
The smells of the sea, iron, and ash assail you as you press deeper
Welcome,
beneath the
Vizian.
land and closer to the remnants of the temple.
We're doing well. How about
ruins.
yourself? Oh, well, welcome. Thank you for coming. Just so you're aware, we are live streaming, but your voice is not being recorded. So you're more than welcome to chat as much as you want. Cool. Nice. Well, welcome. I just like to tell people ahead of time so that they're not surprised when they suddenly see their tunes running across the YouTube screen. Alright. Alright, let's step on inside if you're done eating.
We should not linger in this place longer than we must. We will unseal the underground river, restore the dock, and take a smaller ship to
Thank you so
sea.
much for doing this Hope and
Wait.
Scrolls, Amberly.
Did you hear
If we can
something?
get them
I
in the
would
tank group
applaud
as
your
well, that would be
persistence were
lovely.
it not vexing. Alas,
Thank you so
you have
much.
spoiled years
Both
of
groups are
planning and
set then.
careful construction in a matter of weeks.
So Winicia, you'll
Instead,
be the off tank, so
let
you'll
me
be
welcome you
grabbing Azagath.
to your tomb.
Then
It
we
is a
will be
pity I shall not
having
see the life leave your eyes.
JT, you'll be
But
pulling
my
all
calling
3 of
lies
them.
deeper within the Makta Corpo.
Alaric,
Do not
since we
despair.
don't have a Berg, I'm
My
gonna put
crew
you
will
on
come
Ferida for
heavy-fed
interrupts,
before your
okay?
deaths.
And then kill order
Come,
will
Nakasi
be
and Belandor.
Healer,
We have
Zag,
much to do with them.
Ferida, and then
My crew
Azagath.
and Shade will see these
Remember
interlopers become
DPS
the latest
on
sacrifice in this
the
temple.
healer, Burkhat, right? We've got to interrupt Tails, because if we do not interrupt Tails, that means that nobody else will be able to interrupt their targets. Winicia, we do not have a champ, so you'll just have to eat the howl. Tier 1 is going to be the easiest, just to come back to the wall and tank here. I wouldn't, because, well, what are your mid stats? Yeah, you should be fine standing right up there and tanking him there. But you can bring him back here as well. I'm gonna leave that decision up to you. If Azagath remains up there, that just means that all melee have to be more um, aware of it. Yeah. It also means we will not be kiting the eye, which is going to be a good test for our healers. But that's all good because that's actually the strategy that you have to do on T3. Um, so may as well start practicing now. Mm-hmm. We'll be killing Burkhad because he's the healer that heals everybody. Then we'll be killing Zag next because Zag does a massive cleave and it'll make it easier for our healers. Then we'll be doing Farida, just ranged. Heartseeker on T3, but on tier 1 it tickles. So JT, you'll be mostly focusing on Zag. Whenever he does his cleave, remember to take a couple of steps back so that you don't get hit. Other than that, healers, you may want to save your call to fates and bubbles for when Howl goes off. Since we do not have a champ to reduce that damage. Sorry, Vision, are you running a red bear? Do red bears have a taunt? Okay, so yeah, that won't work. So yeah, so healers, just be sure to be ready for when Howl goes off. You may need to bubble and call fates and all that stuff. We res order, so Jay, you'll be practicing calling reses today, okay? That usually falls to the Blue Mini to do. And your resers are yourself and Io, so Kian. Typically you'll just res first. If yours is on cooldown, then you can just ask for Kian to res the person. Okay? So those are the things for practicing. Any questions? Farida will have, she does multiple things, but the one you want to practice interrupting is Heartseeker. Any other questions? Mm-hmm. 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 Should be fine. Yeah. Okay. Good. This is going to be a ready check to go. Yes, sure. Somebody was. Yeah. So if you go to options and in the search bar just type in movement, you'll see under. Yeah, you want to have that deselected. Okay. Alright. You're welcome. I have put TA on, so you guys should be able to see that now. Yeah. Alright. Oh, Othes. So what we're gonna practice doing in terms of Othes is that Kian, you'll Othes first, and you'll just do it on Burkhat, and then Alaric, you'll Othes second. And then you guys will just rotate. Okay? Alright. Do it right away. And then we'll I need you guys to practice communication. And so what you will say once you hit the Othes skill, all you gotta say is Othes out. Okay? That communicates it to the raid leader, it communicates it to all the DPS so that they know they gotta focus on their big skills. It also sometimes lets the minstrel know, okay, now is the time to do CTG. So it's useful to get into the practice of once you hit the Othi skill, just say Othi's out. Okay, good. Well, we are all green. All questions are answered. JT, take us in, please. Remember DPS, we are looking to interrupt tails. Everybody move up. Hey, Gary. Sure, I'm live streaming for you. Cool, thank you. No, we got it filled. Vizian was great. Nice to step in for us. Alright, Zach next. So remember, Zach does the cleave, so make sure you guys are standing behind him. A hell incoming. Lovely. Good communication. That is Gary. Can I get an Othis, Alaric? Do you remember to swap target? No, we're on Zag. Burkhead's dead. Corruptions. Alright, we're on Ferida. Yeah, I think you put it on Ferida instead. I can see the OPs. Healers, you guys are doing great. Down to Azagath. Jay, are you rezzing? Perfect. Thank you. Good luck on loot. We will head through the door. Let's group up here. Wait for everybody to make it through. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Just waiting on Thando. Did you change a setting or did you maybe unplug something? Can you hear me at least? So go up to... Did it... Okay. Excellent. This is gonna be a ready check to start clearing trash. JT, you'll be running up there and pulling everything. Everybody else, let's group up over here, please, so that we can line of sight any of the enemies. Because if we don't line of sight them, we'll have stuff looming by the door. Alright, go pull it for us. We're practicing for tier 2.
Nakasi, take
Doing
your
tier
crew.
2 strat on tier 1.
Reach the bulwarks across the docks. We must flood the harbor.
As you wish, Azaghal. You are the
Yes.
sea shadow. Make haste to the bulwarks and bring them down.
Yeah, I'm hoping that if we one-shot everything, we may have time to go do tier 2 boss 1.
Nakasi, be safe.
That's the plan, at least.
Watch yourself, old man. See you on the other side.
Belando, take your crew within the temple. Do not let these interlopers breach the stairwell. I must retrieve my prize from within Makta Korbo before we take to the sea.
We will see it done, Asaga. Let's move out, crew.
As for our pursuers, I believe they will find that the Temple of Blood and Ash is unwelcoming to outsiders.
Let's go to the gate. We'll have one more group over here to pull. So there we go. Spark Tamer. Fire at will. I swear one of these days I'm gonna get a training dummy and I'm gonna call it Will. I don't know. Yeah. Alright, through the gates.
Persistence. Usually I admire that quality. Given that you are my pursuer, I find it disagreeable. Nevertheless, you'll not stop us here. We will end you. My crew and I will stop you here. You shall not ascend to face Lord Azagoth. We will end your meddling here and now. It is best you retreat now while you can
Me
still
neither.
walk. I would not advise crawling through the ruins of the Temple of Ash and Blood. But if you insist on pursuing your own demise, we will oblige. Crew, form rank!
Hey JT, on your pull. Yeah, if you drag them back into this corner, there's less chance that we will randomly aggro the other group. Okay, next group. job with that mess. And one more group. Okay, let's move inside. Hop around the corner. Let me just go over things real quickly. Just tool tipping all the ads real quick. Alright. So let's just go through kill order real quick. It'll be Talkenza first, followed by Kalmos, followed by Hakraf. Then we will have Lashana and Myron. Lastly, we'll do Salix, and then we'll do Bellandor. Remember there's 2 phases to this fight. During phase 1, we need to pull the boss away from all the ads. Otherwise, the ads will not take any damage. Then once we've green barred all the ads, the boss Bellandor will do a whole long RP. He will sacrifice them all, turn them into ghosts, and at that point we need to take Bellandor back to all the ads because the only way he takes damage is if they're all in his proximity. Okay, so those are the 2 phases. Now, tanks. JT, you'll be responsible for tanking all the ads. LJ, you'll be responsible for tanking Bellandor and Salix, please. So probably the best way to do this is going to be for JT to run in first, do his war chant and grab all the aggro, and then LJ, you'll just pull them off one by one and then pull them to the corner where we're standing. Okay? And then during the last phase, LJ, you'll have be sure that you pick up 1 or 2 of the ads as well, because they become deadlier. Then when we go through that transition phase, make sure you do not Guardians Pledge, Juggernaut, okay? So that you're able to withstand the hit from that transition. And then, okay, so that's tanks. Now, interrupts, we will have hunters and rune keepers will be on Kenza for interrupts. Then Kalmos, we have a mariner. So Alaric, you'll be on Kalmos for interrupts. Then Thando, I know you're Redline. Do you happen to have a CC in Redline? Okay, so you'll be on Hackraft, okay? that's typically the yellow LM's role, and so we're slowly transitioning you into that role. Um, so you'll be responsible for interrupting Hackraft, okay? And kind of the trick of what you'll need to do eventually when you're on your yellow LM is you'll want to make sure that you're following TA in terms of, damage and buffs and all that stuff. But you have Hackcraft like in your field of view so that you can see when he's starting to do his inductions. Um, and also if you tooltip him, it'll make it super easy for you to just swap over to him and do the interrupt. Good, because that's the easiest way to do it. Then we will have JT, you'll be on Lashana or Myron. I don't care which one it is on tier 1. Pick one. You'll be responsible for their interrupts, okay? And then we don't have the fancy gotta burn through them DPS check on this boss, so we should be all good. Any questions? Okay. Mm-hmm. So typically what we'll do is the blue RK will heal Shoshira with his JT, and then Mini will... let's do it the other way. Yeah, Mini can heal. They're both tank guards. Mini can heal Winnesia. So that's how we'll do it. Mini's AoE heals are only fellowship wide. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so that's kind of like what you're practicing tonight, right? Is that you're on the DPS team, but you're cross healing Winnesia, and we'll see how it goes. If we find that there's a problem with that, we can always swap you with Ian Thrill. Mm-hmm. Believe so, yeah. Yeah, so that's actually gonna come down to you during that last phase. Since we do not have a Berg in this team, we'll have to use self cleanses, and mini cleanse will only do fellowship wide, so you'll have to do yours for the entire raid. Okay. Any other I will call for CTG. In terms of Oathies, what will probably last time we burned through them so quickly, I just will do. We will do Cappy Oathies on Telkenza, and then we'll save Mariner Oathies for Bellandor. Anything else? Okay, good. That's totally fine. This is a ready check to go. Remember, as I say, it's always better to ask than to guess. All right, yeah, that'll, yeah, we're doing tier 1. All right, so we're all green, so JT, count us in.
I commend you for your tenacity. Come forth. We will afford you a moment of respite to compose yourselves. Gather your crew quickly. Once the gate is closed, we will teach you about discipline.
Full Salix when able. Tracy, go ahead and grab Salix. Full Salix, please. Thank you. Tier 1, so he doesn't do the healing thing on tier 1.
I will. However, offer my
Yeah, we usually just all run. Everybody run over here.
No! What have you done? Otakar! This is not over!
Can I get Mariner OP? Capio, please. Thank you. Also, we need a Cappy cleanse. Sandor cleanse if you can. Yep, go for it. People need to be using their own cleanses as well and pots.
No more. I'm spent. My crew, my friends are dead. I yield. I will return to the city and finish
Berg.
my penance.
Yeah. Everybody else has to. Remember to bring pots.
Leave me and my crew to misery.
Yep. Alright, good luck on loot. Let's take a 5-minute fire break. And then we'll come back and do boss 3, and maybe we'll even do boss tier 2 boss 1. We'll see. See how it goes. Yep, be right back. Alright, this is gonna be a ready check to see who's backed by their keyboards. Still missing 2. Yes. Where where were you standing? No, you went down because fears, myths. That's why. Hmm. Last time we had a burg that has a group wide cleanse. This time we didn't have a burg, so that's so that's what you were noticing. It's not something that you inherently did. It's just that because of our setup, um, you had to be more aware of your cleanses. Now, as a hunter, I will tell you that in a raid setting with purge poison, okay, you have to click on your own image before you use that skill. Um, other, oth- otherwise, you're gonna be removing the fear from the tank. Yeah. 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 Mhm. Mhm. Don't worry. That's just something that you learn with practice. If you've not been in a raid setting where you've had to do that, you may not have even known. So that was a great question. Okay, just ready to check again to see who's by the keyboards. All right, everybody's back. Let me explain this fight real quick. So there will be a couple of phases. We'll do and it will usually go in this order. We'll do tentacles, then we'll do ads, then we'll do crushing, then we'll do boss head. Then we'll do crushing and boss head, depending on how our DPS is. Okay? Oh, I gotta swap the guardian into our um DPS group real quick. Let me just check something. Alright, so I am going to be swapping Winicia with Laxar. That should be good. Um, okay, so we also do not have a yellow LM, which is also going to make the ads. You do have Bane Flare, right, Thando? All right, perfect. That's all you need. So Thanda, whenever we get to the ads phase, I will say, tank and LM prep for ads. Okay, what I mean by this is you're going to be running right to the center here, right behind this gate. Okay, where all the ads spawn. As soon as the ads spawn, you're going to root them and do Bane Flare. Okay. What that does is that gives the tank, which in this case will be Winicia, enough time. Well, yeah, I want to I want to do it this way because Winicia. JT, do you know how to do FMs? Okay. So I'll let you two decide who wants to do FMs on the crushings and who wants to tank boss's head. LJ, what are you comfortable with? Oh, okay. Let's do this then. We will let Winicia do boss's head. Okay. And then JT, you're going to be on ads duty and FM's on the crushings. Okay. So, what's gonna happen is to start off, Thander's gonna go and he's gonna do root Baneflare ads. That gives JT enough time to pick up the slapping. And then pick up the ads. We will kill 2 slappings, then the ads. Then I will call left or right. Okay. Left or right means we're either going to go to the left boats on the left hand side of the pier here, or we're going to go to the right. I will put a sun over my head. I will say group up. Do not run ahead of me on the platforms. We need to go collectively out, because if even one person gets in vicinity and hits the crushing, what will happen is a timer will start. If we do not kill that crushing before it destroys the boat, what will happen is this will lose that DPS on the boss's head, which will make this fight, which will make me cry, because that will make this fight intolerably long. At 25%, we will have JT trigger an FM. We will go all yellow on the FM, and then we'll burn the crushing down, run to the boss's head, and kill the boss's head. Hopefully, we'll have enough DPS that we do not have to do a second crushing, but we may, in which case I will call for that. After boss's head, we go back to slappings, and we rinse and repeat that. The only change up comes at the very last when we're on the 25% phase. We will kill slapping, sturdy, slapping. After we kill that second slapping during that phase, we will have the sweepings pop up. Now, the sweepings can do a lot of damage. Now, Thando, this is where it's going to be a little bit tricky for you again, okay? Which is going to be different. You're not going to be with the group at that time. You're going to be on the opposite side, standing where a sweeping will pop. I posted a picture of this last time, but I can post it again. But you'll stand there, and you don't have to do anything. You still have to do root and Baneflare on the ads at that point, but you just physically have to be standing next to the sweeping when you do it. And if you're looking for direction on where to stand during that phase, LJ can show you. What am I forgetting? Heals, be ready to do bubbles, call to fates at that point. Alaric, be ready to throw your dome up at that point as well. Oathies, Io, you'll do first Oathies on crushings. Alaric, you'll do second Oathies on the second crushing if we need it. And then when we get to 12%, we will do FMs. As soon as the FM goes off, that's when we're gonna have Io do your Oathies, okay? But you gotta be quick with it. Okay, so hit your Oathies first and then your buffs. And then we'll do Mariner, and then if we need to do it again, we'll save CTG until that point, Jay. Okay? We'll do CTG, and then we'll do 2 Oathies again. And then after that, we will just have to burn it. I will call it out for you. Since this is a learning run, I will call it out for you. But this pattern that I'm describing for you, this is what you'll do in tier 2, tier 3, you'll do it in other groups. Everybody kind of follows this exact same pattern. So just get used to it. Typically, the Cappy throws it first, Mariner throws it second. Just a rule of thumb. Any other questions? All right. Sure. So then whenever the boss's head pops up, okay, it's gonna do a blast of water onto the sand here. It's gonna cause a lot of crabs and lights and stuff to pop up. Okay. When you see those ads spawn, you want to use your root to root them, and then you're gonna use your flashing Baneflare, thank you. You're gonna use your Baneflare to stun them. The reason why we do that is to give the Guardian tank enough time to run from aggroing the slapping to get to you, to pick up the ads. Okay. After you do that flare, you'll just be doing your regular thing, DPSing the target assist. So that's only when we get to the 25%. And I will show you that when we get there. Okay. And then typically how we divide it up is that JT, you'll just get the left side, slapping, sturdy, and sweeping whenever they spawn, and LJ, you'll get the right side. Just to keep it simple. Yeah. That's also why I start typically working from left to right. Alright, any more questions? Cool beans. This is gonna be a ready check to go. We are all green. Go ahead and step up just here. Alright, going in 3, 2, 1. Go, 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 go. Alright, let's kill the slapping. Alright, let's run to the other side. We're gonna go kill the slapping on the right side. The boss also does breath, so boss tank is responsible for churning boss's head. RK will heal Venetia, and Mini will heal the other one. Alright, ads. Here we go. Gonna despawn and respawn. Nice. Typically also here, ranged will take out the tethered lights while the others work on. Will be on the left side on the melee stuff like the crabs. Group up. Alright, here we go. Fill this crushing. Go these, please. Ayo. Get ready for FM. FM now. All yellow. Okay, boss's head. Speed boost, please. Okay, kill, kill, kill. This is our primary killing time. I'm gonna go burn 5%. Let's go. Alright, back to slappings on the left here. Keep killing the slapping. Just want to check the sturdy. We're so good. Alright, let's go kill the slapping on the right side. Tank and Alan, get ready for ads. Ads next. Range, take care of the tethered. Alright. Crushing will be on left again. Alright, let's go. Group up on left. And go. Io, this will be your OPs. FM. Okay, speed. Hopefully we can get it. Definitely. There we go, all yellows. Nice, let's go. Speed boost. Okay, get ready, here we go. Let's burn, burn, kill, kill, kill. Got 4% to burn through. Nice. Back to slapping on left. Yeah, we're getting sturdies next. Thank you for the info. Okay, stop sturding. Sturdy, sorry. Go sturdy on right. Okay, slapping right. Tank and Alum get set up for ads. Ads now. Okay, I'll just I'm trying that. Alright, we've got crushing on right, group up on right. Group up on right. Okay, here we go. EO Oathies. Get ready for FM. FM now. All yellows. Slowly. Go for boss's head. Gonna get a speed boost. Thank you. Go. And kill. 4% to go through. Nice. We are gonna go to the left, slapping. Hey, Silver. Alright, slap sturdy next. So Aston, can you see me? Aston? Sorry, not that. Bando. Sorry. Bando, can you see me? Can you see me where I'm jumping up and down? Yeah, so when I say to get ready for the ads, you're gonna run over here to this spot right here, okay? Alright, go for right sturdy. You got it? Alright, so remember after this next slappy, we're gonna have sweepings. So tanks, you need to pick up the sweepings, please. Alright, tank and LM get into position. Get ready with bubbles. Alright, here's the sweeping. Bubbles. Dome. Selfies. Stay alive. This is the phase where most people die. Use pot to feed me too. I need a taunt from TA. Instead, okay, go for sweeping on the left side. Watch. Yeah, sweeping on left side. Here we go. Kill it. Go for ads. Alright, now on boss's head. Can we get an FM? All yellows. Alright, Oathies, Theo. Quickly. Burn, 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 burn. Alright. Kill Sturdy on the left. Left Sturdy. All the way on the cooldown. Alright. Yep, go for FM. No, it didn't. JD. There we go. Alaric Oathies. Ah. Alright, we're gonna do right sturdy while we wait for cooldown. Alright, let's get an Oathies off. CTG. Okay, good, thank you. Go, 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 go. Alright, just hang out here. We gotta wait for cooldowns. You can throw it yet. Hold it. Gonna do one final push here now. We'll have an FM and then we'll do OPs. You go for OP. And that's how you do it. Good job, everyone. Good luck on loot. And we didn't have anybody drop into the puddle this week. If there's anything that you can't use, you can put it up in Rage Chat for roll. Other than that, oh, somebody go for a swim. Yeah. All right, looks like we've got Rune Keeper boots up for roll. Rune Keeper boots up for roll. Yeah, you can roll for alt. No, you can roll for alt. I'm gonna roll for one of my alts as well. Going once, going twice. Go. Goes to Brynja. I did. Thank you so much. And then we've got a couple of purple pieces. I don't know if it's upgrades for anybody, but it is for the mini. If you would like those mini pieces, go ahead and roll. Going once, going twice. Goes to Ian. Ian Thrill. Yeah, just both. Yeah, it's fine. All right, let's go ahead and I know we've got 10 minutes left, but I would like y'all to at least get a taste of what Tier 2 Boss 1 feels like. Let's go ahead and leave instance. Yeah, we gotta take the training wheels off sometime. Yeah. Yeah, I already gave jobs in Tier 1, but we'll review them again. Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right, let's pop into this Tier 2. So yeah, that's a very important point that Gary just brought up is in Tier 2 Boss 1, do not use your AoE stuns at all, because it will affect whether people can get their interrupts off when they need to. So we've got one more ad to deal here with. His name is Ishakar, and he acts pretty much just like a captain does. So interrupting him is gonna be of utmost importance. Otherwise, he is just gonna continuously summon ghosts that will eventually overwhelm us and kill us. So yeah. All right, so we're gonna tank him exactly like we did on tier 1. JT. This is where you'll be focusing on Zag mostly, right? And when he does the big frontal cleave, you need to call it out. Because LJ is going to be standing there right next to you, but she won't have your target targeted, so she won't see it. So you'll need to call it so that she can take a couple of steps back as well and not get cleaved by Zag. Okay? So that's something to practice moving forward. Now, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can sidestep as well, whatever is more comfortable for you. Just do not turn him around. It's kind of like, because then he'll just frontal everybody, and everybody will die. So, but yeah, sidestepping is totally cool. Looking at my lineup here, we will have I think we're just gonna let Farida go because we don't have a Berg to manage her, and hopefully everybody's mids are high enough by now. Alaric, your main job here is gonna be Ishikar. Io, your main job here is gonna be interrupting Ishikar as well. Both of y'all need to make sure that his yellow bar doesn't go off. Okay? The reason why I typically assign 2 people on it is because you still need to be putting up your buffs and everything on the main target. So while keeping an eye on Ishikar. So 2 eyes are better than 1 when it comes to monitoring him. And typically what I recommend you do is just stay on him initially. And the reason I'm speaking this because I was on my Mariner for D4 when I did this, since I was in Ishikar duty. Typically what I do is I wait for the yellow bar to go off, interrupt it, turn to the TA target, do a couple of skills, go back to Ishikar. Wait for the yellow bar to go off, interrupt it, swap, right? So I'm getting like 2-3 skills off on the target assist, and then swapping back to Ishikar. Does that make sense? Yes. Get Othies. Yep. Yep. That's usually what we do. Yep. So that's how that interaction works. Kill order will be Burkhad, Zag, Ishikar, Farida, and then Azagath. And then healers, yeah, I mean, like, same instructions as for tier 1. Just make sure that you save your bubbles and call to fates and all that stuff for howls. Eyeballs will be a real thing, and it'll be definitely testing people's mitts. And it'll be testing the healers as well. So this is why I want to do this, because it's kind of like a little bit of a stress test to see like where we are on gear and mitts and all those sorts of things. Okay. Positive thoughts. None of these negative waves. All right, we're all green. Everybody step inside. All right. Ooh. Nice. Is that for tier 10 delvings? Okay. Cool. Nice. All right. Take us in, JT. Remember DPS team? We are interrupting tails. Group up as well for heals. Okay. Your res when you can. Poisons. You just us. Okay. This is the wipe anyways. Just keep going. Yeah. Yeah, it's doable. All right. Well, that was a good exercise. Yeah. So if you guys can work on getting y'all smiths up and getting delving gear, that'll make tier 2 for us a whole lot easier. All right, well that concludes tonight's adventures. Thank you everyone so much for joining. I want to also thank Gary for popping into our channel and offering words of wisdom. And yeah, that's it.